So, hello and good evening to everybody. I think there's mostly parents on this call, which is totally typical and as expected, because I know everybody is busy doing exams and everything horrendous like that. So, I Millie Whitehead, and I one of the co-founders and directors of The Leap. And together with my gorgeous team, of which Tanya is here. Tans, give us a wave. And, and the lovely Zoe, who isn't here, have been putting your trip together, the trip for all the students. So the purpose of today, okay, is to get you as parents organized, okay? And then hopefully the students will, I'm going to go through the admin, and at the end, I will describe the experience so the students can watch this when they're kind of more relaxed and not got exams, to get excited with what's to come. Okay, so we're going to rattle through the flights and airport admin, the leadership team, health and safety, kit and money, staying in contact, and then we will talk about the experience. Okay, so at every stage, wave at me, get my attention if you've got questions, so that by the end you feel really confident about what to pack in the bags, confident in the experience is going to be tip top, and everyone feels good. Okay, dokes? So, starting from the top, the flights and airport admin, which I appreciate has been causing a little bit of strife for you all, including the visas. So, just a bit of a backstory. When we started this particular trip, I budgeted and thought with Dial a Flight that we would get 18 kids on board. That was my budget. Little did I know that we'd get 23. So for those 5 of you who have booked and called Dial a Flight direct to book your own flight, that is why on the group flight that I pre-booked, it's got everyone's names, and that's what people have been saying. Oh my God, why aren't I on that list? Okay, you're not, because you've called Dial a Flight and you've booked it and paid for it direct, and you have your very own ticket. For those 5 people, what I want you to do is before you arrive at Heathrow, you're to check in online and do that independently. Okay? For everybody else who is on my pre-booked ticket, we will be doing that for you. Okay? You're just to turn up at the airport. The visas, clearly, everybody needs to get their own visa, and I think most of you have done that, and you've been sending it to Tans, who is very, very pleased with you. She is a little, her and Zoe, honestly, it just looks like some kind of visa sorting house in our office at the moment. There's visas all over the place. So that is fantastic. Thank you for sending all the admin heavy paperwork that is required. So we want you to get your visas, and we also want you to get the air ambulance, the bronze Misha cover with AMREF. Okay. Everyone happy? Any questions on the visa or AMREF? Apart from telling me that they're really gnarly, gnarly websites to navigate.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I had a question to ask you about that. I did go onto the Air Ambulance website, and it asks you to register and put in your passport number. Am I supposed to put in my son's passport number and register him as the account holder?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to put the whole
No,
process.
Oh, is
no,
that not right, Tans?
no, sorry. What you do with AMRIF, and we've now changed the notes on this for the next group. Basically, you have to set up because you have to be over 18.
Well,
Set up.
that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so set it up under your name, and then when you go into the main website, which I've done this now, so we're now
Yeah.
into the main website, you then can add a beneficiary, and at that stage,
Ah,
it doesn't ask for an age, and we have had a couple of people who, and just be careful with that because it's it's not a great website, and it's so some people have booked a year without, instead of, a few days. So
Yeah.
it's not straightforward. So you just need to, double check everything. But no, to add yourself in the beginning bit, get yourself logged. They send you, a little digit to get yourself onto the website, and then add a beneficiary, and then you can do it that way. And it's
Okay. And I
like
have
the bonds.
Okay, and I have to put my own passport details in to get through to the next phase because you can't put in your child's because it won't tally up.
Yes, I think so.
Correct.
I think I
Yeah.
can't remember now. Yes, I
Yeah.
think you do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Thank
And
you.
also, sorry, just one other thing, going back to
Yeah.
the visa. This is pretty strange. When Millie and I did Millie's visa together, and we put those notes together for you all, we didn't get asked this question about consent. A lot of people haven't been asked about that, but some people's visas, they've asked for an extra level of consent, form to download. And in that case, add in your permission to travel with the leap. That seems to have worked. That not everyone's been asked for that, and literally two or three people have been asked for that. But if you need that extra document that they're asking for, your permission to travel with the leap with your signatures on it is sufficient.
Okay.
And
Great.
do you need a copy of like the air ambulance, or as long as we just give them to the children, they're fine?
Tans?
Well, I've some people, I've got their numbers. I think the kids will have their. I think they get given a sort of card, an electronic card. So as long as they have that, if you've got the time to send it to me, I think, as long as the kids have got it, I think that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
In addition to the AMREF, you do need the basic travel insurance as well. Yep. So,
Yeah.
okay. So with the airport, we will be sending an email just before when we know exactly what kind of the terminal and the gate, just to clarify all of that. But just in your heads, I'd like you to all budget 3 hours before departure to meet at Heathrow. And you're all going to meet in the departures lounge where you put the luggage in.
Can I just ask you one quick question about that? For the people that have booked independently with Dial-A-Flight, when will we get our tickets so that we can book online? Or when will we get that we can check
You
in online? Because we haven't received that yet.
Well, when you booked direct with Dial-A-Flight, you
Yeah.
got an email confirmation saying you booked
Correct.
on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
Correct.
like a normal flight.
Yeah.
24 hours before you go,
Yeah.
you check in online.
Okay. Right. So fine. Okay. Because I haven't had any kind of confirmation. Well, I mean, I've just had the confirmation, but I haven't had any kind of login details or anything to check in. So
Well, on the email that
yeah.
you've got,
Yeah.
you will have a flight reference.
Oh, fine. Okay. Do it that way. Fine. Okay. Perfect.
And
Got it.
then 24 hours, you will get an email
Okay.
from Dial-A-Flight saying, time to book in,
Okay.
time to check
Perfect.
in.
Okay. Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question? Sorry, when you say departures lounge, you mean where they're just putting in their luggage,
Yes.
not after? Okay. So there'll be a place. You'll preset a place, whether it's Costa Cafe or something, a place where to meet.
Yes. It
Okay,
will be outside the Air Ethiopia check-in.
perfect. That's it. That's okay. Great. Okay, thanks.
Um, okay. Everyone happy with the flights, visas?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just add, sorry, we quite like all the kids to wear their Leap t-shirts. Just so, and then they'll be obvious, they'll be in the same group. And I'm going to be there on that flight as well. So actually I'll be there, and obviously they'll need their visa to come with them, and their copy of their permission. I know we've got the permission thing, but if they just bring the original, just for safety, and obviously their passports, but the visa as well.
Okay.
Hi, could I just quickly ask, sorry, you mentioned at the start a letter that said there were some people flying and some weren't. I don't think I got that.
You, if you, it would have been in one of the attachments.
Okay,
If you have not been told to book a flight, to call Jack at Dial-A-Flight and book a flight, you're under control. We
fine.
have your
No,
flight.
no, you don't actually. I did book a flight with Jack. So I was just, when you said at the beginning, some people said our name's not on the list, so they were worried about it. I just didn't see a list. Is that
Okay.
because I booked directly with Jack?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
fine. Thank you.
Sorry, just the question with the t-shirts. We haven't got them yet. I presume they haven't been sent out.
Haven't been sent yet.
Fine, that's all right.
Yeah, they're on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the leadership team, who you are going to meet at the airport. So Tanya, who's been chatting, she's going to be at the airport. She's the LEAP representative, and also the other two guides are David and Christine, who are teachers at Renkham School. So the three of them are going to be the chaperones to take everybody across to Kenya. Okay, so that's who's escorting them. Hold on, somebody's got their iPhone on. Oh, there we go. So the three adults, they're going to be in charge of taking everybody over there. When they arrive in Kenya, they're going to be immediately picked up at Mombasa Airport. And the three main guides in charge are going to be Janet, Juma, and Joseph, who are the Oceans Alive team. I've worked with them now for kind of 5-6 years. They've taken many an under 18 trip and many a gap trip, even the midlife trip. So they really know their stuff in teenage management, and they are awesome. So from a student point of view, they're going to completely ignore Tans, Christine, and David because they are really unexciting. Whereas Joseph, Juma, and Janet they are it. And so the team are going to be divided into 3 groups to do the activities, kind of circling around each other. There's most of it is all done as one, but a couple of things they're split into 3 groups. But they all everybody lives together at Pope's, which is their home, at Oceans Alive. And within that, there is more. The team there is like a village. So they really feel well looked after. There's so many people to go and there's cooks, there's cleaners, there's people patrolling the plot. So it feels like a real family and a real community at Pope's, which is what we call which is their accommodation. Okay, so that is how it works. And then above that is Des and Tilda Bowden, who are our age, and they set up Oceans Alive 15 years ago, and they live literally 3 doors down, and they are always on call and kind of overall responsible for the whole thing. So that is how the management team works. Any questions on the team?
No.
No? All good. Moving on to everyone's favorite topic of health and safety. Okay, so I would like everybody to, if you can, give every student a little medical bag which has got the most important things is maybe a paracetamol or a Compeed. It's really useful in case they get blisters from my kind of flip-flops. But the most important thing that I really want in there are electrolytes. And you can get them very easily from any good supermarket, Holland and Barrett. Don't go for those hideous things that we were all forced to have when we were little, what were they called in the packets? Everyone hated them. Disgusting. You could get really nice ones now, brands of Viz and Voz, and they're like little redoxins, and you get more different flavors, and you pop them in your water, and it makes your water taste really good. Now, the reason why I want you to pack enough for 2 a day. So they need at least, well, how many days? At least 20 of those pills. And I want you to really ram it home with them that they're to take 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. And why is because it is hot and it is humid, and they are going to be working hard in that climate. So they are going to be sweating throughout the day. And dehydration for me is one of the biggest risks of all. Okay, it starts off with a headache, starts off with achy bones, joint ache, and it is so easily avoidable. And because they're going to Kenya and malaria is not a big threat, but of course it is a risk, it's often the same symptoms. So I just like to know, are you dehydrated? Are you drinking enough water? Is your pee? This is the questions they'll be asked. What color is your pee? Okay, I want it either bright orange because you've been having bright orange electrolytes all day, or it's crystal clear. Anything in between, is not good. So that we could then kind of immediately say, right, it's not dehydration, right? Let's get you malaria tested, or you might just have a bug. So it just really helps us on the ground. When it comes to malaria, yes, as you know, everyone's got to have malaria tablets. But I also want you to have a conversation with your kid about the malaria. If they are feeling off, okay, which does happen, I would say 1 in 10 do not feel right on malaria tablets. So, and typical symptoms, they can feel a bit low, they can get bad diarrhea, they can feel nauseous. And what I want them to do, if that is the case, is to go to one of the team leaders, whether that's Tans, David, or Christine, or Joseph, Jamet, and Julia, and say, I'm not feeling myself. And then together we will make a plan whether it's worth keeping on or staying or keeping off. Okay. The other great thing to have in the medical bag is jungle juice, because spraying up is really important to keep the mozzies at bay. And if possible, well, it's essential if you can, the suntan lotion to be reef friendly. Now, don't go crazy on reef friendly, and people kind of say, oh my God, I've spent £50 on reef friendly suntan lotion. Don't need to do that. Sultan and basic brands do a reef friendly one. Okay, but that is important. Okay, so you could, we have lots of medical bags. So, but is the other thing that most people pop in might be a Imodium. Those quickie Imodiums could be useful, but that's about it. If they're on any weird or wonderful medication, I know you will have told Tans and Zoe about that. And if that needs to be refrigerated, looked after, you're nervous about, it being given every day because it needs a routine, we can help. Just ask. Okay? Everyone happy?
Yeah.
On the medical kit. Okay. Now, when it comes to safety, okay? This is how it would work on the ground. Okay, if when your ocean's alive, if you got a sore throat, we were worried about you having malaria and you wanted to have a malaria test. If you cut yourself on the coral and you needed a few stitches, the student would be taken immediately to Vipingo Clinic, which is 10 minutes down the road. It's open 24/7. It is utterly fantastic. I tell you, every time I go to Kenya, I save up various elements and visit there myself. It is absolutely brilliant. And they can sort out most things there and then. Okay. If they got there and they think, I think you might have broken your leg. We need an X-ray. Then you'd be taken down to Mombasa Hospital for an X-ray. Da, 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 da. If you get to Mombasa and you think, I don't like this at all, we're not happy with this, we want to go to the big hospital in Nairobi, that's when we call AMREF and you get flown from Mombasa to Nairobi. If there was some major accident, God forbid, touch wood, and you needed to be air evacuated straight away to Nairobi, then you would be stabilized at Vipingo Clinic, and the airstrip is right there. Okay, so it is a pretty slick procedure of scaling up. When you're on safari, similar. on safari, you've got Chris Angel and his team who are all first aid qualified, but Chris himself is wilderness first aid. If there was an accident, if you were ill, Chris could deal, it's all about stabilization. AMREF would be called. They would, diagnose and dictate what's happened next. But the first port of call would be to drive. And wherever you are on safari, you're an hour away from Voi Hospital. So you'd be stabilized, taken to Voi Hospital. If they can't deal with it, AMREF would pick you up from there. So that is the sequence of events. Okay? It's not going to happen. Just telling you what could happen. If there was an accident, an illness, let's scale it down. If your kid was not feeling great, and that could be suffering from anxiety, feeling homesick, to sickness and diarrhea, potential malaria, cut, whatever, okay? The team leader will be calling me or Zoe, and we will be calling you immediately. Okay, that is how it will work. You will also, before they go on their they have arrived, you will be getting our Leap emergency telephone number, just in case to have to pop in your phone. Now, that is for emergencies only. That's not for a nice chat at 9 o'clock at night just to check if their morale's okay. All right? It's happened before. And when that Leap emergency phone goes off, let me tell you, everyone around here has a heart attack. So, you have to be very kind to us. It is for emergencies only. Okay. Keeping in contact in general, okay, our objective is to have a as much as possible, phones down. Okay. I am not going to encourage them to get a local SIM card when they're there. There's Wi-Fi in the house at Pope's, and there's Wi-Fi when they're on safari in the camps. So when they're out and about during the day, I don't really want them to be using their phone. I want them to use their phone as a camera, and that is it. So they're going to be hugely busy. So my motto to you is no news is good news. And if you don't hear a thing, that's brilliant. Okay? Then we're really doing our job properly. And if you think, actually, this is stressing me out, not knowing, then call us during daylight hours just to check if all is okay. Okay? Any questions on health, safety, and keeping in contact?
No.
All good?
All
Are you all
good.
feeling comfortable with that?
Yes.
I have a question, Millie.
Yeah.
What happens with phones? Is there some Wi-Fi?
Yes, there's Wi-Fi in the camp, in Pope's, which is their home, and then there's Wi-Fi on Safari. So when they're in those bases, they can dial in.
Okay. So do you tell them to take their SIM cards out so they don't get hammered by some roaming charges or something?
Well, yes. If they switch off before when they get on the plane at Heathrow, switch off their roaming, then that's great.
Would you be kind enough to remind them to do that? Because he'll forget and we'll get a massive bill.
Yeah, Tons, switch off.
I'm on it.
You're on it.
Yeah.
Switch off the roaming.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Right. Okay. Now we're just going to move on. We're really nearly there. I promise you. I promise you. Stay with me. Okay. We're now on to the kit and the money. With regard to the kit list, the only important thing that they need, okay, is the snorkel, mask, UV top, and those really unsightly reef shoes. Okay? That is essential. Please buy cheap, buy twice. Just when it comes to the snorkel and mask, make sure it is of semi-decent quality because they really are face down in the water all the time. Make sure it fits. Get them to test it out in the bath, okay? So that it does have a good grip. If you're thinking you can pull one out of the garden shed which you used 10 years ago, it's not going to work because rubber will have disintegrated and they'll be frustrated. So just make sure it fits. With the reef shoes, definitely make sure, please, that the base of the reef shoes is sturdy, thick, and it actually has a little bit of a side lip to the sturdiness. I know this because I bought a £10 pair off Amazon thinking they were going to do the job. Okay, utterly hopeless because my foot slid off the edge and I could have just kind of, one of those nasty spiky things could have just,
Yeah.
attacked me from the side. So a sturdy pair of unsightly looking reef shoes. Okay, they're all wearing them, so they'll get on with it.
Excuse
Can I
me,
ask you a question,
sorry. Do
please?
you have a
Clashing questions. Go ahead.
Kate, go first.
sorry, thank you. Do you have a recommendation of a provider or piece of people that you think are good? This might be helpful.
I mean, I can have a look on Amazon, and that's as good as I go. Cressy for the snorkel and mask is a really good provider, and you can get that on Amazon. But the reef shoes, God, there's so many.
I think Decathlon is quite good, isn't it? For that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, if you've got one locally or online.
Yeah, I think they've got them online.
But we are sending out an itinerary for everybody day to day. We're just working through it. Just got all the latest tides in to work it out. An itinerary in that will just have a kit list, a reminder at the back. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Rule of thumb in the evenings, it's hot and it's sweaty. But in the evenings, if the wind whips up, it can get a bit nippy. So I would be saying, and to keep the mozzies at bay, both girls, the best thing you can buy are those trousers which you get from Aspiga, which are those really thin cotton trousers with the elasticated base at the foot, like harem trousers. They're brilliant because they don't let the mozzies fly up your leg. Boys, you can't wear anything like that. So you've just got to wear long trousers or kind of shorts and spray up.
Tom's trunks.
Tom's trunks. Yeah. Okay. But we will send you a reminder of the kit. When it comes to money, we've gone round and round in circles in this. And my conclusion is, and I know it's a fag, but it really helps us at the other end. I would like you to, we want 130 to 130 minimum pounds. If you know your kid is a big spender and they will go mad at the market buying bangles, beads, and sarongs, then 150 pounds converted into Kenyan shillings. Okay. And in addition to that, take a debit card just in case.
A Revolut.
A Revolut, whatever card they've got. Now that cash is going to be spent on 2 meals out, soft drinks and crisps, which we're going to set up a little tuck shop in Pope so they can help buy things there and just have it's an honesty bar and then pay at the end. When you're on safari, they can buy soft drinks there and souvenirs. I'll come to that, and tips. Okay, there's the rule of thumb is we want everybody to do a £20 tip for all the staff on phase 1 at Oceans Alive, and £10, the equivalent in shillings, on the safari. And that's just kind of, isn't it, Tans? It's just the norm
Is what it
to
is.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, I've forgotten what I was about to say. Souvenirs. Okay. This is for all students listening in. You're going to be able to buy souvenirs at the coast. We're going to arrange for a few of the Women Empowerment Centre to sell their knickknacks. We're talking little bangles, little elephants, little things. We highly advise, when you go on safari, you're going to stop for lunch at this one particular place. all the safari vehicle stops, and it's got a huge room in it selling souvenirs at overinflated prices. Please don't buy anything there because you could be spending $50 on a tiny weeny elephant. Now we all know that we're getting ripped off is part of the parcel, but just don't do it there. Just don't do it. So whatever the message is, if you listen to this or not, parents, just relay it. When you're on safari, don't go buying at the souvenir shop.
And is there a cash point, Millie, if they need more? Is there a cash point at Vapingo?
There is, but that's only at Kilifi, and you'll only access Kilifi when they go on a dhow.
Okay. Okay.
But if they're out of money or they wanted some more money, we can easily sort it. Des and Tilda can lend them money, and then you can put money in Des and Tilda's bank account in the UK. So there's always a solution. So nobody panic. Okay. Any questions? Because that's it. That's the list of. Does everyone feel they know what to pack? They know what's going in their bags.
Water bottle or not?
Yes, that's going to be all on the kit list.
Okay.
Sorry, could I just ask something? I can't remember which course this was. Did you ask for a soft suitcase?
Yes, interesting. Nice question. Thank you, Candice. Yes. What we need are soft bags, soft suitcases, none of those really hard suitcases, on wheels. You can have one hard side and one hard because you've got the wheelie bit coming out, but 3 soft sides. The reason being, I want you to think, can this bag be strapped easily to the roof of a safari vehicle? Can it be squeezed in behind seats? Is there a bit of flexibility to it? If the answer is no, look for something else. Okay, that is really, really helpful. Thank you, Candice. That's a brilliant.
And sorry, does it need to be hand luggage size, or is it okay to be larger?
Yep, no, larger. You could take a normal bag that gets thrown that goes
20
in the
kilo.
hold, and then you need just your little day rucksack or whatever bag you're going to take for on the plane.
Can I just say one thing? Will you Tulit is absolutely useless with losing everything. Will you take passports away?
Yes, when we arrive, but not until we arrive at Oceans Alive. So when we arrive at Oceans Alive, they'll all be collected and put in the safe.
Great, thank you.
And presumably the medical kit they take on their hand luggage rather than in the hold luggage. Is that correct?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. If they've got any medication which is absolutely vital to them, then you take it in your hand luggage.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
Oh, can I just ask, there's about the washing. Do they need to pack enough t-shirts
No.
for the duration, or there is a washing machines?
There are no washing machines. There are lovely ladies who are going to help them with their washing. I would recommend that they wash their own pants in the shower and hang them up, but anything else that can be done, and that's all part of the tipping at the end.
Thank you.
All good?
All good.
Grand. Right. Now we're just going to move on. So if your kid is going to watch this, you can fast forward always that bit to this bit, which is the experience as just a little reminder of what they are going to be doing. And so they are going to support and work with Oceans Alive. Oceans Alive, which was set up by Des and Tilda over 10 years ago, is a pioneering, dynamic, awesome NGO. So awesome. I love to tell everyone this bit. It's even supported by King Charles himself. He visited about 3 or 4 years ago. So it really is up there. We are not taking you to a Mickey Mouse kind of NGO where they're going to paint a wall, shake hands with a kid and leave. They're not entering that experience. Okay, so they are going to, throughout their kind of 5, 6 days with Oceans Alive, they're going to learn about Oceans Alive, how they are affecting the reef positively. They're going to see a terrible reef versus, oh my God, this is a live, thriving, vibrant reef, which is a privilege in itself nowadays. They're going to snorkel over it. They're going to see this underwater safari of colour. Nemo and all his friends are there. They're going to help build more coral reefs. They're going to learn how you go from that little chip, stick it on, build it into kind of bigger structures, and then submerge them in the water. So they will feel really proud that they are contributing to reef growth. And this whole reef process is now being copied in 30 different sites up and down the Indian Ocean coastline, the East African coastline. So it's really exciting. So they're going to experience the water, but they're also going to experience how the success of that is being brought about, which is very simple, is that instead of just saying, what Des and Tilda, they were determined to make it a success, and the only way they could do it is by getting the local community on side, and that's the local fishing community on side. Because you can't, to give the reef growth a chance, you've got to get tourists and fishermen out of the water. But you can't say to the fishermen, no fishing, because clearly that's their income and they will starve. So we've set up a women's empowerment centre, which is starting this year, giving the women who are historically the fishmongers an alternative method of earning an income. The fishermen now have access to Geco stoves, which all your students are going to be building. So these are fuel efficient stoves in the community, in the villages. They help. So when a fisherman gets his fish, he can now fry his fish. It lasts 3 days as opposed to going off overnight. It's these simple things that really assist with the circular motion of growth. They're also going to be building vertical gardens for all the some village families in the village. These vertical gardens are made out of cement sacks with manure and everything, and now they can grow loads of vegetables which they sell at the market as another income stream. They're also going to be delivering water in the village to the sick and the elderly, which is a very humbling experience. When I was out there a few months ago, came across two little kids. I would say they're 6 and 7, with a wheelbarrow with big plastic water bungs in there, and I was like, where are you guys going? And they're like, well, we're delivering, going to collect water. And I was like, where's your home? And it was an hour away. And you're like, God, okay, I was humbled by it. I'm reminded how privileged I am. So, it is just that type of experience where they will learn how very lucky they are. And when they return home, when they, forget to switch the tap on or leave the shower dripping, they actually might think twice about doing so. So my goal is that your students are going to have a full-on experience of seeing how an NGO works, a successful NGO works, how people can make a difference to the environment overseas with creative thinking. They're going to contribute to it, and they're going to feel really good about themselves after it. But from a CV employability point of view, this is just something we have up our sleeve, is that I know that this gives them evidence for the soft skills which universities and employers so want to hear about. So when they are filling in their UCAS form and it's point 2, show us what on their personal statement, show us what you're made of. Are you resilient? Are you a team player? Are you good at communication skills? I want them to be able to draw on this experience to give evidence that they have that in spades, and it will set them high, set them apart from their peers who haven't done such an amazing experience. So that is one of my key motivations. I know it will have a huge impact on all the students. They're going to have fun and adventure. They're not even going to know what they're learning and doing, because it's all just kind of it's all kind of adventure with all of this just kind of disguised behind it. But I know, and I just wanted to kind of relay back to you parents, that actually it is an awesome experience. So that is what they're going to be doing on a daily basis. They're going to be in the water, in the village, delivering water, building Geco stoves, going into the school, talking to the kids about conservation, talking to the ladies about how they can help with, the Women's Empowerment Centre. And at the same time, there's going to be fancy dress parties. There's going to be a Dow trip. They're going on safari. There's going to be volleyball matches. There's loads of fun. The acrobats, oh my God, they're going to see the village acrobats on one evening, who literally, you can't believe what they can do. Anyway, that's all part of the rich tapestry of the adventure coming along their way. So, any questions?
Sorry, can I don't want to be the
Oh
negative
no, you
person
keep going.
here. No, but what is the position for the Ebola situation? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now we are following the Foreign Office advice, and Des and Tilda are following the local advice from the British Embassy and all the Kenya departments, the Kenya health departments. If we at any stage think that the risk is too great, okay, we will postpone the trip. The costs that we could get back are our costs minus the flight will only be postponed. They won't refund. And the safaris, despite all our haggling, they won't refund. They will only postpone. So my first wish list would be, hold your nerve, everybody, and let's postpone to a new date next year, or even closer to Christmas, when we will just take a view with what Ebola looks like. But the narrative that we're getting from Kenya, is that it's okay right now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So everybody is everybody hold your nerve. That's what we're doing, is holding our nerve. We've all lived through I know it's much scarier than COVID, but we're pretty good at moving quickly.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Just one other question about the additional module that,
yes,
that we can or cannot do or not do, or the children can do or not do. I haven't signed up for that. Is that a problem?
No.
Does it affect?
No, the volunteering diploma is the purpose of that is that it translates this experience into an academic value. So
right.
it gives which gives 60 UCAS points. But it's so some of you might say, well, my kid doesn't need the extra UCAS point. Okay, that's fine. But you might view it, actually, why not have a volunteering diploma? It looks good on CVs, on everything. It just looks, it's just another layer, another strategic layer. But you don't need to decide before you go. Your child can go and then retrospectively do it.
Okay.
And when they're out there, there's just going to be two moments, one in the beginning and one at the end, where they will be with Tilda, who will talk them through a bit more in depth about Oceans Alive, to help them with fulfilling the diploma section.
So there is an option to do that at a later date if they wanted to do it. Okay, perfect.
You can backdate it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
So I have a practical food question. My daughter's a pescatarian, I'd say, vegetarian that eats fish. Do I need to be mentally preparing her that she might need to flex on that for 10 days, or will she be well fed and catered for? Or
She'll be totally well fed.
What's the culture and custom is I guess the question.
There's going to be Western food throughout this experience. Okay, but they will have the opportunity to eat kind of Mendozas and samosas and what's the other thing called, Tans, where the kind of porridge, ugali.
Ugali, yes.
Yeah. So as a little bit of fun, okay, that's it's a kind of test that taste and if you like it, you can carry on. If not, but that's not their main meals. So all food, we could cater for it all. So she does not need to worry. It's pretty basic stuff. It's like basic school food you're going to get. On safari, it's buffet style in Ungatuni and Taita Hills, and you can really fill your boots. But when they're at Oceans Alive, it's kind of spaghetti bolognese, that type of fish, that type of thing. Fish and porridge. Not fish, fruit and porridge for breakfast. And toast,
right.
Jams.
Thank you.
One thing I really would like you to kind of reiterate to everybody is that it's a no drinking, no alcohol experience. Okay, so even those that are kind of 17 and are used to having a beer when they're on holiday, it's just a kind of flat no for everybody. But it just won't be they won't even notice it because they're going to be so busy.
Right.
Okay, so that's everything that I wanted to say. Tans, is there anything that you wanted to bring up?
No, I was just going to say, if room shares, you've mainly given me, actually, I think we've sorted out most of the rooms. No, I think that's probably it, actually. Thank you. No, I think, no. Yeah, any visas or anything that hasn't been sent to me would be brilliant. When you get a chance, that would be great. Thank you. And then and the flying doctor, if you want to give it to me.
Okie dokes. Good.
Will they be told the rooms before they go, or because I think we've got a mixed cohort from obviously Rencome and externally to Rencome, so will that be shared before they go?
Yes, that can easily be shared.
Okay. You really can wrap it up now.
And the other thing to say, sorry, there'll be a WhatsApp group which we will set up nearer the time so they can all, if they want to, they're a bit shy in the beginning, but they can then all, they've all got each other on one WhatsApp group, which will have a leader on it as well. So we can coordinate at the airport and everything else. So yeah, that'll be set up.
Great.
Right, we're really going now. Okay, all right. So thank you for entrusting us with your child, and here's to an exciting adventure.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very exciting.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.